What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Those of you stopping by for the first time, do me a real quick favor. See that red subscribe button down below? Go ahead and push that and show your support for the channel. Those of you stopping by that have been here before, welcome back to TL2G Reviews, my friends. Glad you came to see me. So long awaited and long overdue, my top 10 tobacco fragrances. I actually have 2 honorable mentions as well. Now, there's some fragrances that are going to be missing from this list that you may love. And let me know in the comments by all means. This is what I have, what I've smelled, what I've wanted to buy, and what I enjoy wearing. So, jumping right into it, my first honorable mention is, in my personal opinion, the spot to start for anybody wanting to dive into tobacco fragrances when you're first getting out buying fragrances. It's Calvin Klein CK1 Shock. This is dipping your toe into tobacco to me. This is a great daily driver in the fall, winter, early spring. It's a very sweet, wet tobacco. A little mandarin orange on the top. This is a great fragrance. You can get them cheap. $20 for 100 ml in most places. $30 for a 200 ml. And it's just a must-have. It's a quintessential tobacco fragrance, in my opinion. One that, like I said, this is where everybody, in my opinion, should start when they're diving into tobacco. So CK1 Shock at the first honorable mention. And then the next honorable mention, this is another one. This is one of those tobacco fragrances you start with, and it's a staple, and it's one that everybody loves this time of year. It's Burberry London. Little boozy honey tobacco, sweet tobacco. This is some good stuff too, guys. Another good one to really dip your toe into the tobacco world. Arguably the best fragrance from the house of Burberry. This is probably their most popular. These 2 honorable mentions, that's why they're honorable mentions, because they're worth mention. They're where I believe you need to start when you want to dive heavier into that specific note, a tobacco heavy fragrance. So moving into this top 10 list, like I said, some of these you may agree with the order. Some of these, it may surprise you that these are on the list. Some of these you may totally agree with, but this is my picks, my opinion, you know. So let's dive right into it at number 10. This is one of my favorite fragrances for the cold weather. It's a little boozy. It's very tobacco. It's a little smoky resinous. It's great in the cheapy world. This is from John Varvatos. This is Dark Rebel. And I love this fragrance. And I absolutely love that cap for sure. This one smells wonderful. Very smoking, a little daring, more wearable than Dark Rebel Rider for sure. But this one's a little on the daring side, a little bad boyish. Great in the cold for sure, with a leather jacket, you know, the hell, even a members only jacket, who the hell cares, you know. It's just a great fragrance. Is everybody gonna like it? Nah, not really, but it's one that I absolutely enjoy, and I know a lot of you enjoy it as well. And number 10 spot, it's holding it down, John Varvatos, Dark Rebel. Number 9 spot, relatively newcomer to the collection, relatively new fragrance for the house. Once I smelled it, I fell in love. I've worn it a few times. This is, the name's fitting, the idea's perfect, and the scent matches it. This is what happens when Tobacco Vanille, I believe is what he was going for, and Green Irish Tweed meld together. It's so good. It's got such great performance. God, I just can't say enough good things about it. From Happyland Studios, this is Green Irish Tobacco. My God, guys, initially, this wasn't on the list till I got it, because I've been kind of developing this list for a while, deciding what was going to be on it and what wasn't. And the minute I got this and smelled this, I knew this was making the list, because this is just so good. God, kudos EJ Wells at Happyland Studios. This is one of those home run fragrances we talk about on this channel. This is a banger. If you're to just sample one fragrance to kind of see what the house is about, this is probably that fragrance. This is one to really check out from the house. This is a must buy from Happyland Studios, in my opinion. Like I said, Green Irish Tweed, and kind of what smells to me a pipe tobacco note. So damn good. My God, check it out. Try one of his sample packs. You're bound to want to get a bottle of this. So, number 9 spot. Number 8 spot, one we haven't talked about in a while on the channel. Bust the pouch open. It's an inspiration fragrance from a house that I haven't dove into too much. This is the only fragrance I have from them. Fantastic job, though. This is from Genre Parfums. This is Andale, their version of Zaharoff Commandante. This is a sweet cherry tobacco, a bit floral in the dry down. Oh, and it's a powerhouse, and it is so good. My God. I have not, it gets lost in the shuffle, and I have not been giving it its just due, wearing it as much as I should in the rotation, and that's about to change. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to wear this one tomorrow, because smelling it in the air like that really makes me want to wear it. So this will probably be my scent of the day tomorrow. Fantastic. Not the most readily available order. I don't know when the next order time is for Genre Parfums, but definitely check them out. They do have a Facebook group where you can get up to date on what's going on in the world of Genre Parfums. And I know they make a lot of great fragrances, but this is the one I have, and I can vouch for it. I've done a full review on it. This fragrance is amazing, and it's a very sweet cherry tobacco. You got to smell it. Genre Parfums, Andale, the number 8 spot. Moving into number 7, one that is kind of a expected fragrance in this list, I would think. One of my favorite fall fragrances. That's when I really wear this one the most. And this is from the house of Paco Rabanne. This is 1 Million Prive. This is a banger. Whew. The cinnamon and that sweet tobacco note. Oh, smell it in the air. Solid performance, not a screamer by any means, but definitely an all-day spray on my skin, and good enough projection for a few hours. It's not going to fill a room, but you're going to leave a pretty good scent trail, and it smells so good. This is wet cigar that was dipped in honey with a little bit of cinnamon sprinkled on it is what I get from it. Not heavy on the honey, more on the cinnamon than the honey, but just a staple in any tobacco list. This is going to, I would safely assume this is going to be on most tobacco lists because it's such a good tobacco-based fragrance. So Paco Rabanne, 1 Million Prive. So number 6, one I actually have a backup bottle of. I actually have a backup bottle of 1 Million Prive too. But I debated on where this one was going to go in the list because I do really enjoy it. Not enough to be number 1 or 2, but definitely more than being 10, 9, or 8. This is a hidden gem cheapie. It's a dry tobacco in the opening. It gets sweeter as it dries down. It's wonderful. It's from a house you don't expect. Some of you know what this is. Some of this is going to, some of you, this will shock you. But this is Aramis Tobacco Reserve. Do have a backup 60 ml as well. Watch how big and wide this spray is. Oh God, it is so, so, so good. You know, initially, the very first time I went out and looked for this one was last year, I believe. I want to say it was right around the time Max Forte did his review on it, and I just happened to see it, so I grabbed it, and he was dead on. This one's something special. It's different. Not everybody's going to like the opening because it's got a little tonka bean with a dry tobacco in the opening. I like the opening, but I can see how it could be off-putting for some, but once you let this one dry down, it's great. It lasts long. It's got a pretty hefty projection to start, and then it starts to sit a little bit close to the skin. Underrated, cheapy hidden gem. You can get these. This 3.7 ounce, I want to save 25 bucks is what I paid for it. You'll find them at TJ Maxx, Marshall's, places like that. Keep an eye out because this is a hidden gem. Wonderful, masculine tobacco fragrance. Great for the cold weather. Aramis Tobacco Reserve. All right, moving into this top 5. So, some of these you'll expect. I'll be shocked if you don't expect all of these. Let's move right into it. Number 5. This was planned from the start to be in here. Green Irish Tobacco kind of threw me for a loop, and I said, well, I guess 2 of Happyland's fragrances is going to be on the tobacco list because you can't have this list without Happyland Signature from Happyland Studios. This is a screamer powerhouse. I'm not going to spray it because it's going to fill this whole room right now. The pie note and the blueberries, the gourmand aspect mixed with this heavy sweet tobacco is brilliant. This fragrance is brilliant, EJ. EJ Wells just makes magic happen sometimes. Not saying every fragrance he does is absolute must buy. But in my opinion, the two that are on this list are, if you like tobacco, Happyland Signature and Green Irish Tobacco are amazing. And this one is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the subtle guy that doesn't like loud fragrances, because this fragrance is loud. This sucker's bad, okay? You don't spray this one super heavy and think you're not going to choke people out. You can't just start, and it's big, heavy, hefty sprays. I'm going to have to show you guys. It's big old hefty sprays when you spray this one. This is an extrait concentration, and if you spray 3, 4, or 5 like that on your body, you're bathing in it, and it's, God, it's filling the room now. It smells so good. You're blowing people away with the smell. You can do 1, 2 at the most is all you really need, because it's big sprays. You're good all day. Everybody can smell you. You smell great. Maybe not the safest thing for work. Maybe a half spray, 1 spray, and you're good for work. People are going to smell you still. 2 sprays, you trying to make a statement for sure, because this thing's loud and this thing's amazing. Happyland Signature. This is the other one from the house that I would say is a must for sure. Number 4. So I only have a decant. I've had opportunities to buy a bottle, and until I run out the decant, it just doesn't make sense to buy the bottle until I run out of the decant. This is one you're probably expecting. This is Parfums de Marly, Harrod. You knew this was going to be on a tobacco list for sure. Oh, God. Parfums de Marly does such good jobs with their fragrances. You know, I'm a firm believer in not really putting decants and samples on these lists, but the 2 that I have on this list that are decant and sample, they have to be on this list. And eventually I'll get full bottles of them. I still got several sprays to go on this, but sweet tobacco. I mean, what, no other way around it. The incense note kind of changes it a little bit. I do like that they have the incense in this. I've never smelled the original formulations. From what I understand, it's been reformulated. It's not as powerful, which is what this one is. It's a reformulation. And I'll tell you what, I absolutely love this fragrance. It's a great tobacco fragrance, a staple, very masculine. Very natural and high quality smelling for sure. When you're stepping into the niche houses like Parfums de Marly, you have a certain expectation, and Harrod absolutely delivers on the niche tobacco front for sure. Now, you thought that was small. Wait till you see how small the sample is for Noxus at number 3. I know Noxus being at number 3 may upset some of you, and I get that, but hey, it's in the top 3 because it's that good. But one thing you got to remember, it's my opinions, and there's 2 that I do like better than Noxus. Don't get me wrong, Noxus is great. It's great, it's great, it's great. Now I understand that several of you are probably confused, like, why is he pointing that out and stressing that? There's a few people that I talk to on a regular basis that feelings just got hurt that Noxus is at number 3 and not number 1. And I get it. It's great. They're interchangeable. Everybody's lists and opinions will change and differ. But back to the fragrance. Now, this is a natural, supernatural honey, heavy honey tobacco bomb. It really is. It's so natural smelling. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and spray it on my hand. It's very good, guys. It really is. It's not cheap. If you check out Kushik over in the Facebook groups, I believe you can get the 100 ml for around $185, which is a very good price versus retail. $185, I understand, is still a lot of money, but it gets a little smoky on my hand. It just does. But Noxus is in that must-buy territory if you have the ducats to spend. You got the funds, get your hands on Noxus. It's that good. It's in that must-buy territory. Like I said, if you got the funds, it's definitely the one. Noxus Zaharoff. So, first time I have a list that's got a decant and a sample in it. I don't know how I really feel about that, but don't worry. Eventually, I will have full bottles of these. So, moving into number 2. I'm starting to look at this as the Outlaw Special. Shout out to you, James and Russell, because I know they're really big fans of this. Every time I talk about this fragrance, I mention these guys because I know how much they love it. It's Sweet Tobacco Spirits, 1821 man-made. It's a honey bomb. It's heavy tobacco. Oh my God, it's so good. And what separates it is this red wine accord that it has. It's so damn good. I mean, I wish I could smell that atomizer right now. It's not the easiest thing to explain without you smelling it, because a fragrance with a red wine accord, you're like, red wine? What do you mean? With honey and tobacco? Yes. Great job. $80 retail. It's an extrait or a Parfum concentration, I believe. You can find them in that $55, $60 range for a 100 ml bottle. It's loud. You don't have to spray it heavy. You can do 2 sprays and you're good. 3 sprays is pushing it, which is what I do. 1 on each side of the neck and 1 on my chest. You're good for the day and you're smelling loud. You're smelling yourself. It's masculine. It's manly. It's boozy. It's sweet tobacco. And it's amazing. It's 1821 man-made sweet tobacco spirits. And number 1. A lot of you probably already knew what number 1 was, because anytime we talk tobacco, I praise it. In the past, until I got a full bottle, because I used to have a decant, I actually gave it to my buddy Miguel because I knew I was going to get a full bottle. After the first spray, I said, oh, gotta get a bottle. This is what made the list take so long, because I didn't have a full bottle. And I've had the bottle for a few weeks now, for sure. It just wasn't really time yet. Well, now it's time, and it's here. And number 1 on my tobacco list is Mancera Red Tobacco. I love this fragrance. The opening, the dry down, the performance. My God. It's loud. It's long. It's sweet. It's sweet. It's sweet. It's sweet. The incense in this one's heightened. It's so good. It's hard. Anybody's going to be hard pressed to tell me and try to convince me that there's a better tobacco fragrance on the market than Red Tobacco from Mancera. That's just how I feel. I mean, good luck trying to convince me otherwise. I've smelled a lot of them. I have a lot of them. Oh my God, so good. And this is another one I got from Kushik on Facebook. You want some good prices, I'm telling you, look up Kushik. You'll understand. They have him and his buddies that he sells with have a live Google Drive document. The inventory changes live. The prices are great. Direct from distributors, all authentic. Shout out to you, Kushik. So glad to have this one. Waiting on another cool front, and I will be busting this bad boy out. But at the number 1 spot, Mancera Red Tobacco. So that's my list, guys. There's others that could have made the list. Prime example, ones like Dua Black Widow, which is Black Phantom by Killian. Very sweet. It dries down real sweet on my skin. Heavy tobacco in the top. I debated on putting that one in, but if breaking it down, these are the 12. 2 honorable mentions, two worth mentioning, and 10 that were better to me. Awesome fragrances, especially once we get into that top 5. But until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate hearing from you guys. Let me know. I know this is going to be a debatable video for sure with this list, with some of your favorites that didn't make my list. Maybe I just don't have them. Maybe I haven't smelled them. Shergi. Somebody's bound to mention Shergi. I haven't smelled it. I do plan on getting it. This month I will have a bottle of Serge Lutin's Shergi. Don't worry. I know everybody's been hyping it lately. That hay with the sweet tobacco and everything really intrigues me. My buddy Justin, Stay Fresh Productions, he had it, got rid of it, got it back. He swears by it. Chris Fragmental, he's been talking about it. Cam, Carolina Fragrance Reviews, I know they've been talking about it. They get me hyped up too, guys, and I'm going to get a bottle. And if I had it, who knows, it may have made the list. But I don't have it, so it can't go on the list. But until next time, I guarantee you if you get your hands on some of these and you give them a spray now, I'm 100% confident you'll thank me later. Have a great day, guys.